show for the realists. Say goodbye to the lies, the fakeness, and delusions of modern society. And welcome to reality. Guys, today I have a real talk, all right? And I'm just going to get right into it. You know, I look all over the internet and I see all these people, young people especially, trying to be successful, trying to go out and build something, become something, create something. And everybody seems like they're super confused. And I want to give you guys a few points, 4 points that I think will drastically improve the speed and the quality of your journey when it comes to becoming successful in whatever it is that you are. Now, most of the people I'm talking to out here, we talk in terms of entrepreneurship or intrapreneurship. But the reality is these principles apply to almost any area of life. And it's something that you guys need to hear, all right? So here's the deal. The first thing you have to understand is that we live in a society where success is villainized. Winning is villainized. Becoming something greater than everybody else is villainized. All right? That's reality. It is far easier for people to sit around and do nothing, be nothing, become nothing, and create nothing, and criticize every single other person on the planet that's doing anything outside of that than it is to actually go out and build it. It takes time to go out and build things. It takes effort. It takes literal blood, sweat, and tears. It is real. You have to give up things that other people get to do. You have to sacrifice your time, which is really an investment because there's a return on it. And that's one of the biggest fallacies that we don't understand is that this is an investment and there will be a return. There will never be a return for you if you buy in to the poverty propaganda. Do not believe the poverty propaganda that is out there, okay? What is poverty propaganda? Poverty propaganda is this idea that you don't need any money, all right? And that it's somehow humble or noble to be less than what you could be, to give up on your dreams and just be a poor little me and stay right where you are and do nothing, create nothing, contribute to nothing, build nothing. And then you get to judge everybody else that's doing other things and say they're not humble. Well, that's not how it actually works. Because to be humble, you have to actually be good. Being humble because you haven't accomplished anything doesn't mean you're humble. It means you're making a justification for your lack of results. All right? So poverty propaganda is a big problem in culture right now. It is glorified. It is amplified. It is something that is pushed out. And when you understand what you are hearing and what you are looking at, it's much easier to ignore it and do the other thing. All right? A lot of you guys, you look at your friends, you look at the people that you're surrounded with, and they're out doing all these things, and they're telling you that they're going to, go live their life in the mountains, and they're going to tour the world, and they're going to do all this shit. But here's the thing, guys, and that's okay to do those things. If that's what you really want, go do those things. But what I'm going to tell you here as an ambitious person is that if you buy into it at the expense of your actual, true, authentic self dreams and goals for what you actually want out of your life, you're going to regret it, all right? Which leads me to my next point, okay? You have two options here. You can have a hard life with a result, or you can have a hard life without a result. But either way, life's going to be pretty hard, all right? You could choose right now to become the kind of person that is going to invest all of their time, all of their resources, all of their energy into becoming the person that lives the ideal vision that you have for your life, and it's going to be hard, really hard. You're going to have to make investments that other people your age and your position are not going to be making. And they're going to judge you, and they're going to make fun of you, and they're going to laugh at you. And you're going to have to keep going because if you don't, you'll never realize that version of yourself. But in the end, you get a reward. You get to live a life that others can't. You get to do things they can't. You get to become things they won't. You get to make impacts they don't. Your entire existence will be a reward for the effort that you put in on the front end. Or you can believe the poverty propaganda and you can go live your life, right? And then in 20 years, you're going to be working at fucking Wendy's, not because you have a passion for it, but because you have to. All right? So you can choose. Is it going to be painful now with a reward later, or is it going to be fun now with pain later? But those are the only two choices. So if you buy into the idea of the poverty propagandists, you're going to be in the latter of those groups. You're going to be the person who has a great time now, who fucks their life away, and then in 20 years, bro, you're going to be making double-decker tacos at Taco Bell on the midnight shift, wondering what the fuck happened to your life, and then blaming everybody else for it. No. You have the opportunity right now to change your life. Are you going to change it, or are you not going to change it? Okay? The third thing is this. You have to stop overcomplicating it. All right? You guys look at this as if it's a nuclear Rubik's Cube. It is not that complicated. And I know there's all these people out here trying to tell you all their secrets. 99% of these motherfuckers haven't done a thing. That's the truth. And if you want a coach and you want someone who is actually going to help you, yes, they can save you years of your life, but only if they have done what it is you're seeking to do. If they have already been on the path, that's a great value. That could save you years. I could save young Andy 15 years off the journey by having his ear for a year right now. But what I can't do is go listen to someone who's never fucking done it and get ahead at all. All right? So save yourself the time and energy and understand that if you're going to have someone help you, they better have done what it is you're trying to do. But here's the thing about everything, okay? This all comes down to two basic, simple concepts anyway. No matter what anybody else says, you could hear the best speech, you could take the best program, you could go to the 12-hour seminar and jump around and say, hey, I'm a different person. It's always going to come down to the two things that it comes down to for everybody. One, you have to become the kind of person that can push through the hard times. Most people can't do that. Most people cannot push through the challenging, the draining, the frustrating times that make everybody else quit. And every time you push through one of these barriers, you're leaving all of your competition behind and you're moving forward without that. And most people can't do that. So you have to build yourself into someone who has the discipline, the fortitude, the grit, the perseverance to push through the hard times, to become someone who is literally fucking incapable of quitting. Okay? That is the first thing you need to do. That's why we talk about the Live Hard program. That's why so many people live that lifestyle, because it builds you into someone who cannot fucking quit. And it's important. Okay? And the second thing you got to have is you got to have just enough intelligence. You got to know just enough that if you make a mistake, to not make it twice. And if you make it twice, definitely don't make it 3 times. If you're someone who makes the same mistake 3 times over and over, you're going to lose. Okay? So you don't have to be a genius. You don't have to be a Buddhist monk. You don't have to fucking have any of these special superpowers that some of these motherfuckers claim to have. All you got to do is be able to identify, okay, I messed that up. What did I learn? And then keep moving forward with point 1, don't quit. Because every time you make a mistake and you learn a lesson, that is a new skill. And so when the situation arises again, you're able to recognize it. You're like, oh man, you know what? I've seen this before. Okay, last time I did this, it didn't work out, but now I'm going to do this. And then you start to get ahead. And every time you come up to a situation like that, based upon your previous experience, you're able to make better decisions than the people you're competing with who haven't been doing it as long. So this is a tremendous practical advantage that you have over everybody else if you don't quit. So not quitting and being able to learn from your mistakes and apply the skill set to the next situation that comes down the pipe is what success is all about. We could do all the morning routines. We could say all the affirmations. We can attend every fucking seminar. We can go to every single group therapy set. I don't know. We can do it all. But if you don't do those 2 things, you can't win. Okay? That's what it comes down to. And the last point is this. Learn to think for yourself. You have to become a student of the game. You cannot just pretend. You have to learn how to think. If you do not learn how to think, you cannot play the game of success because there are too many people that know how to think playing the game of success. And you can't copy either. Because if you copy, you're unoriginal. If you're unoriginal, nobody gives a fuck. All right? So you have to understand, if you're copying someone else, all you're going to be at the maximum level is a watered down version of something that is already recognized as the best. So you have to figure out who you are, what you stand for, and you have to have enough courage to live that in real life. The reason no one cares what you say is because you never speak on anything that you actually care about. This is most of your problems. Most of your problems with your brand have to do with you analyzing everybody else's brand and then trying to be like someone else. And what you're failing to realize, because you don't have the experience of understanding this, is that what you're seeing in someone else's company or brand or persona is actually the result of decisions that were made 2, 3, 4 years ago that have come to materialize themselves into what you see today. So if that's the case, and you're looking at the result of ideas that are 3 or 4 years old, if you copy, you are automatically 3 or 4 years behind at every given point. And the only way to defeat that is to learn to think for yourself, to become authentic, to stand for what you believe, to speak for the things that you care about, and be original. This is the secret sauce that most of you can't grasp. We have far too many people chasing relevance for the sake of relevance. Chasing relevance for the sake of relevance is a guaranteed way to be irrelevant. You have to have original ideas. You have to have authenticity. You have to say things that you care about so that people feel them when you speak about them. You have to create things that make a difference. It's not about you, it's about them, and it comes from you deciding who the fuck you actually are. Stop chasing the likes. Stop chasing the comments. Stop trying to be like everybody else and start working on becoming the best possible you, because when you're the best possible, authentic you, nobody can fucking copy it. It's impossible. It's the biggest strategic advantage you will ever have in your entire life. I see it on the internet. We see it every day. We see all these people out here trying to become a social media personality. They're saying the right shit. They're doing the right things. They're doing just what everybody else does, and that's the fucking problem. It's already been done, and not only has it already been done, it's been done better than you can do it. So what is it that you can do that anybody else can't do? And you have to figure out what that is. And that's going to take you thinking for yourself, deciding what it is you are, and becoming that in real life, okay? You have to be authentic. Authenticity is the superpower of brand building. The reason people ignore you is because you're trying to be something that they've already seen elsewhere, okay? Look out for this in the real world. You'll see it everywhere now that I'm pointing it out. Look at other people's personal brands. Who are they trying to be? Who are they pretending they are? Where are they taking their influence? It's very obvious if you look for it. And none of those people actually win long term. They might get a pop in the short term, but they don't get one in the long term. So guys, if you're a young person and you're out here trying to be successful, you're trying to build something, create something, become something, these 4 points will serve you greatly. Never believe poverty propaganda. There are almost 0 situations in life that are better with less money. Point 2, you have 2 decisions. You can have a hard life with the result, or you can have a hard life without the result. But either way, it's going to be hard. So decide what it is that you want and start working towards that. Number 3, stop overcomplicating it. It's very simple, okay? 1, don't fucking quit and build yourself into someone who can't quit. And 2, learn from your mistakes fast. Figure out where you mess up. Take the lesson, apply the new skill to your little tool belt, and the next time the situation comes around, be able to recognize where to apply it and make the right decision. And 4, become authentic. Do not copy. Learn to think for yourself. Otherwise, you will be ignored forever.